Hi creatives. Today our late life with artists is about exploring the inner world of artists, and our guest is Chris Valencia. She's a multidisciplinary artist based in Madrid, and she explores and creates using different mediums. You can find not only paintings but also embroidery, which is combined with illustrations and actually some customized designs and many more. And today we will talk with Chris about how she creates all these pieces of art, how she finds ideas, and actually how she expresses herself through art and different mediums. I'm sure it will be very interesting to know about the behind the scenes of the artist, and also I have some questions about how she see the connection with the audience, because her art definitely speaks with people who see it. I'm accepting the invitation and we will start in a second. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, and also don't forget to with artists and creatives all over the world. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm quite good. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. uh, where are you now? In Madrid, in
Yes,
Spain? Yeah.
right now I'm in Madrid. I just arrived home a few minutes ago from work, and here I am.
Let's talk today about your art and your experience. And usually, the first question I ask is about the background. How have you started? What was your first experience in creating art? Maybe it's since childhood or later. It's really interesting to know how artists begin their
Well,
journey.
actually, in um, uh, in let's say visual arts, I started a few years ago. When I was a kid, I used to make many creative things like dancing. I also worked in some advertisements. And then I came to Madrid to start studying drama, dramatic arts. And that was my life. But I always wanted to learn how to paint and to draw, but I had no idea. So, like 10 years ago, I went to the university. I decided to make something that I always wanted to do. And I said, okay, let's try. And then I started. I loved it more than any other thing. And here I am. But I'm not the type of person that used to draw and was a kid or no, I had no idea.
But was it hard to start? Because when you're adult, it's really not easy decision for many people to decide, okay, from now I'm going to draw, it will be my career. Can you share a little bit about that period?
Well, there was a quite complicated period in my life, and I was really sad, we could say. And then I needed to make something that I really loved. So I decided to start, to try this. When I made my, uh, I don't know the word in English, when I asked to the university if I could start studying, I was thinking that it was probably I couldn't go to make this career. But then they said, yes, okay, you're in. And then it was wow. And then something started to get better inside of me. So it was not so complicated. It was like a need to make something that I always wanted to do before. So it was great for me.
But how exactly did you start? What were the sketches, portraits? Did you use digital or traditional materials?
Well, in the university, we made many different things, but a little bit of everything. So I loved sculpture. I think is the subject that I love the most, and drawing. But any digital drawings, we didn't do any digital things. So when I finished my studies, I decided to try with this new thing, and without any objective, without any thought that, okay, I'm going to try this to sell my works, to connect with people. That was not my idea. I was just trying. And I saw that it was a very interesting thing because you can make it, you don't need many, I don't know, many brushes or paintings, or you don't need, you just need your computer and your tablet in English.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
So I started because I needed to express myself without thinking in any other thing, and it was good for me. So I kept on doing that, and
mhm.
suddenly, I don't know, everything was connected.
And how old were you at that time, approximately, just to understand how adult were you that
When I
when you started?
started,
Yeah,
38,
uh, 28. Ah,
38.
38.
Now I'm
So it's
40. Yes.
oh, you just look so young.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
but so it's a big change in life, right? To
Yeah.
start. And how fast have you find your artistic style? You have now pretty distinctive artistic style, and it's easy to recognize your artworks. But I suppose at the beginning it was more maybe like trying new things, just what is there in the art. What was your part?
Yeah, well, to get your style, you just need to practice a lot, and to just keep the things that you think they sweet with you, they fit with you. For example, the color palette that I use, I just saw the work of a photographer, and they were all like warm colors, orange, pink, and I love that. So I started to add those colors to my works. The type of line, for example, I tried a lot, many different types of lines until you get or you feel comfortable with one style of drawing. So I think that everything is just try and try and try until you see that you start repeating some of the things, and that those things are finally your style. But it's true that your style can change also. You are not going to make the same for 20 years. So, well, it's a natural thing.
Yeah, of course, I agree.
Mm.
And I hear often from my students who wants to switch to art career that it's really you have to have a courage to do this because if you have a day job and um, maybe you're working, I don't know, somewhere, manager, editor, anything, yeah, and then just to switch to art is not an easy decision. Was it hard for you, or maybe you still combine some kind of day job and being an artist?
Well, it's true that it's a bit complicated to live just from your creations, but there are many things that you can do that are related with art to get stability. For example, teaching, as we do. So, well, in fact, I came to Madrid to start drama, so I started working as an actress, and it was something similar. You don't have an stability, so I was used to that, and for me it was not difficult because I prefer to do what I love without stability than to have a like a regular job to get every month a good amount of money, but without loving what I do. So for me, it was not difficult at all.
Do you remember maybe your first commissions or the first canvases, or what you sold first as an artist? Maybe you remember this project that when you earned money with your art.
Well, the first ones were like friends, but I remember the first time that I made an illustrated book. That when I received the email with the proposal, I thought it was a joke. Yeah, I had to read it a few times to believe it, and I searched on the internet the company because I thought it was a lie, but no, it was true. So it was a very surprising thing for me. Also, the first time that someone on the internet told me, I love what you do, I love your drawings, I really relate with them, it was like, wow, really? What? I don't know. This surprised me too.
And how was that project with the book? It was first real project when your role as an artist who's being commissioned by a company. Can you describe it, please, a little bit?
Yeah, it's complicated because for this type of projects, it's normal to have a very short time to make a lot of illustrations. So it was hard because I also worked teaching at school. And then when I came home in the evenings, I needed to make, like, I thought there were 60 drawings in about 2 months. And for me, each drawing takes like 3 days. So I needed to work like the 3 times faster than I used to work. So it was complicated, but at the end, it was like a lesson that I had to learn, because when you do your own works, you have time, you can relax, maybe leave it for another day if you don't feel with inspiration. But when you are working for other people that are paying and they need the work at that day, it's very different. Mm, well, I prefer to work for myself, but it's another way of working.
I also saw on your Instagram account that you decorated the window for the shop or cafe or something like this. And can you share this experience? How do you find these clients, or maybe they find you? And also, it's very interesting to know this kind of project. If you can go us through the whole process of painting, drawing on the glass, on the windows.
I think that one of the most interesting things about this type of projects is that you are really near to people, because when we used to make art in the studio or at home, we are alone and we are with ourselves. But on the street, that I love painting on the street, it's completely different. Everybody walks around, they talk to you, they want to know things. And at the beginning, for me, that I'm a shy person, was like, oh, I don't know if I can stand with this. But no, it was a pleasure at the end, because most of the things that you receive are good things. People want to know, want to learn. So that was very interesting. And about the process, well, you take the idea, you make sketches. I also work with digitally those sketches. And depending on the project, sometimes if it's a big glass, what I do is to print the project so I can, in Spanish is encajar. In English, I don't know the word. Just to draw the outlines so you can go a little faster with the template that you have printed and then start painting. Or you have, for example, if I work with spray, you can also make a template so it gets, you can go a little faster, because if not, as always, I'm really slow working. So I need to find different things to go a little faster.
Mm-hmm. And how do you find new clients? How do maybe they find you, or do you reach out and contact them?
Well, in that aspect, I have been lucky, because all the clients that I have had, they contact me through the social media. Last year, I said, okay, I'm going to try to contact with, I don't know, magazines or newspapers. So I made a portfolio and I sent it to many places, and I didn't have answers, maybe one or two from magazines that they say, okay, we will take you into account if we need you, but nothing else. So I have been lucky in that case, because Instagram for me has been a really interesting tool to work.
Mm-hmm. And how much time do you invest into Instagram? Do you film reels or maybe use promotions there? Can you share a little bit about that? How do you develop your social media as an artist?
Well, like this few months ago, I'm not dedicating too much time to the internet. Well, to Instagram in concrete, because I only work with this, because I feel that it's not that good as it used to be. You know, that algorithm stuff and things like that. So I'm just stopping a little bit, and I'm dedicating more to learn. I'm starting to learn many things, like embroidery, for example, that you can see here in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And if it changes a little bit in a while, then I will put again more effort on the social media. But right now, I'm like, I'm not really happy with how it's working. So, well, I'm doing things, I'm doing reels, I'm posting, well, maybe once a month. Yes, I'm not posting really often right now. The things that are working for me right now are the stories and the reels. So that's what I'm doing a little bit. But posting, I'm not really drawing a lot in this few months
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Mm-hmm. And what strategies do you use in creating content? What do you share on stories and reels? Is it more about process, or maybe you show the final pieces, maybe your life in stories?
Well, I don't like to share personal things, and about the I have tried a lot of things. So, and sometimes I share the process of the works. Sometimes I share like jokes. Sometimes I don't know. I'm trying. But
So,
I don't know. It's a mystery, because some things that you think are not going to work, then suddenly are like the best. And maybe you are working on a reel for 2 days and you share it and it has no success. So it's a little confusing.
I can relate to that. Coming back to your art, can you please share with us how do you express yourself through art? Because it's very special. It has a lot of symbols and meanings. If you can just maybe show us a little bit of the inner world as an artist, and how do you show it into art? How do you come to all these visual symbols and concepts, ideas?
Well, most of the times it's just the need to express a feeling or a sensation or an experience that I had in my past that is like inside of me and it needs to go out. I don't know, sometimes I try to connect different images because I love the surrealism, and I think it's a very interesting way to express art because it's very, I don't know how to say it, you can feel free in the surrealism to mix many crazy things. So sometimes I'm just thinking about what I want to express or my emotions, my experiences, and then different images come to my mind. So I try to mix them. Or on the other side, um, sometimes I, for example, read a book or I see a film or I see a photograph and I think, oh, I love that image. Let's think how I can use uh, this concrete aspect of the image to express something that I
Mm-hmm.
have inside. So it's a way that comes and goes and comes and goes, and there are different ways to get to the same point.
Can you please give any example, maybe your favorite project? What was their inspiration there? How you combine the elements? Just describe for the listeners.
Uh,
I think it's really
okay.
interesting.
For example, I'm going to, well, I use a lot the anatomic heart because I think it's a symbol of not only of love, it's a symbol of life. So inside that symbol, you can express many, many things. Of a concrete work, well, I could talk about one of the pieces that I did on the street, like a big painting that is based on a digital drawing. Well, that is not surrealistic, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that sometimes, as everybody, I guess, I feel alone. And to talk with friends and to listen everywhere, you are not alone, you are not alone, you're not alone. And I wanted to express that or put all those things or those feelings for me in an artwork. So I decided to draw a girl that is surrounded by a lot of people, and they are all saying you are not alone, but those people around, they have no face and they are like impersonal, yeah, people, because they don't really exist, because people can say a lot of things, but that is not what you feel. I don't know if I'm explaining myself in a good
Yeah.
way. Do you understand me?
Yes, yes, it's good. Please continue.
So the most curious about that work is that many people uh, didn't understand the idea of the work. They took it like a positive thing because they understood that you are not alone. You are surrounded by people. You can feel alone, but you are not. And that was not my idea. And that is the best thing of art, that everybody can understand different things and they can take it and feel it in a different way.
I think it's very interesting topic because in my works they're mostly floral, vivid patterns, and the idea behind them is feeling of joy and love. So it's really easy to feel just through colors. And in your work, there's definitely a concept of something more maybe complicated sometimes. I mean, it's not so general as in my works, for example, right?
Mhm.
And I'm curious, how often do you ask for the feedback and maybe just receive it from people, and what emotions your art evokes in them? What do they say about your art?
Well, in general, when I have feedback, they are good, and I think that is one of the most beautiful things that can happen with my work, because sometimes, for example, one person told me, your work has helped me to take a very difficult decision in my life. So I thank you for expressing yourself the way you are doing it. Or many times people tell me, I think that you are like inside my head because you are expressing exactly how I feel. So this is really beautiful and amazing, because at the end, you can feel that all these experiences and all these feelings are like commonplaces, and that we all feel the same in certain times. So at the end, you don't feel so alone. And this is so beautiful for me. It's the best thing that could happen.
Yeah, I think it's really meaningful to many people, your art. And do you personally face some challenges when you create it? Maybe there are very deep emotions, or maybe it's hard to express it through art sometimes. How is the process for you? Is it positive or is it hard? What do you feel when you work on the new canvas or embroidery?
Mhm. Well, sometimes it's difficult at the beginning, because as I told you, I have something inside that I need to express. But and for me, talking about those type of things is not so easy. So when I decide and I get the way to express that through the illustrations, it's um, like a breath, no, breath,
Yeah,
that you can breathe again, because you are taking out those things. So at the beginning it's hard, but at the end it's a pleasure. And um, I remember that the first drawings that I did that were really personal, I thought, wow, I don't know if I want to share this, because it's so me on the inside, that I don't know if I want people to know me so much. But I thought, okay, it doesn't matter. I don't want to take into account what people think. I'm doing it for me. So I share it. And the first days was like a little scary, but now I'm used to it.
and what advice would you give to another artist who maybe just begins their work in art, and who art is also so vulnerable, so deeply connected with some complicated feelings inside?
That I think that they the most important thing is to live it out of you without any objective, without thinking, uh, is that going to like, is this going to be accepted by people? Is people going to understand what I do? That is not so important. The important thing is that you are expressing yourself, and that you enjoy with it, and that it's what you love. So at the end, you need to do what you love. And it's complicated to live on one side what people say, what people think, what your family. Sometimes my mother asks me, what do you want to express with this? I don't understand it. And then I need to explain her, and for me it's difficult to talk about that, but I keep doing it because it's what I need. And I don't know. It's a need for me. So for people, I think they need to do it. They don't need to share it if they don't want to, but it's good to do it.
Mhm. From my perspective, it looks like you have a really very personal and emotional process of creating a new idea, new art. And then the second part is when you apply this image to a t-shirt or to something, to some goodies, and then sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we can switch to this part, what is the process for you there? How do you decide what art to put on the t-shirt or what to sell, not to sell? How you make these decisions?
Well, mostly all the illustrations that I do, I print them, so I sell them in like prints. But for example, the T-shirts that I do, I don't want it to just print an image on a T-shirt. So I learned how to stamp them with ink.
Block printing,
Yes.
right?
So now I'm all the time making the blocks, or I don't know how you, and learning which type of inks are the best, which type of clothes. So, for example, in this product, I only make like 2 or 3 models, 2 or 3 different models, because it must be more simple, and I need to synthesize the idea in a very easy way without colors. Well, I could make it with more colors, but well, give me time. And then, for example, other products that I do are cups, coffee
Mhm.
cups,
Yeah.
because I have found a way to make my drawings larger, and they can be all around the cup, and I think they are beautiful. But I don't want to put my drawings in all the type of products that I can. No, I like to choose concrete things to sell.
Mhm. Can you please give any tips to other artists who have their distinctive style, which is really very unique? How to sell it? Maybe is it better to produce some t-shirts or mugs or search for commissions to decorate some interiors or anything?
Hmm.
What in your experiences the most successful way of earning money with your art?
Yeah, definitely the prints. Yes, because uh, I think that it depends on the type of art. I think that the type of art that I do, one of the most important things is the message. So people like to buy them on prints and have them on the wall so they can see it every day. Right now I have made a calendar, for example, and that is one thing that it's also very good because many people use calendars. And t-shirts is more difficult, also because you need to have a big stock of different sizes, and I think the prints are the things that
Mhm.
are working the best.
Do you print these prints by yourself or use the print on demand platforms? Which way do you
No,
use?
no, I do it by myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have.
so packaging and delivering is also on you.
Yes, yes, and packaging is one of the things that I love the most. When I, for example, create a new product, a few years ago, I sold hoodies, and I went to a shop to buy the packaging. It was like a cake box, pink cake, really beautiful. And I put inside the hoodie with a book, with a card, with many small details. And I love that because also I know that when people receive those type of packagings, it's an experience. It's not only on a simple envelopment. I want to take care of those details, and I think they are important.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what platforms do you use to sell your prints?
Etsy. I have a shop on Etsy, and I'm actually are in T-Public. Yes,
Mhm.
but in other different, well, they sell hoodies, they sell T-shirts, but they are in America. So I said, okay, because I'm not selling a lot to America, okay, I'm going to try with T-Public. So if they sell something, it's okay.
So you sell self-printed prints on Etsy, and TeePublic is a print-on-demand platform,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you mentioned that you teach others. Can you tell a little bit about this part of your life?
Well, I have been a visual arts teacher for 6 years in a high school. It's a hard work because you have many people in the class, and it's a complicated age. So you need to put a lot of energy to do that work. So for the moment, I have stopped doing that, also because I don't have time to do everything. And right now I'm teaching kids from 3 years old to like 11. And it's very different. Yeah, it's like a game. We are playing all the time. It's really funny, and it's different from high school. Very different. Yeah.
I
And
can
also because
imagine.
they are there because they want, not like high school that they are there because they need to be there. It's an obligation.
What are the most inspiring moments for you in teaching little kids?
uh, I don't know, we have a lot, is that they are so cute and you want to eat them all the time. But suddenly, like today, they put the hand on the painting and they start painting all the table. It's like, oh my God, no, don't do that right now. Well, it's funny. You don't get bored any day. And also because they have ideas, that crazy ideas, that suddenly you say, wow, this works. This is very interesting. So we are learning. They learn, and I learn too. So it's very good.
Yeah, we can learn a lot from children in a creative way. My last question, looking back, what would you tell to your younger self when you just started your artistic journey?
I would say the same things that I say to myself right now. Follow your dreams. Yeah, just if you have a dream, you maybe it's complicated, it's hard, but on the way to get your dream, you can feel happy too. Sometimes I think, okay, if I get my dream, or all the dreams that I have had in the past, when I get them, then it's like, okay, and now what else? So in the way of getting your dream, you can be so happy. And I don't know, if it's something that you really love, you need to do it. It doesn't matter if it's hard or not, but you have to try it. That
Thank you
is
so
what
much.
that is what I say to myself, still at 48.
Chris, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk with you and to know more about your journey. It's really very interesting and inspiring. Thank you
No,
for
thank
finding
you,
time.
and we'll keep in touch. Any other thing,
Yeah.
we
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.